Hey everyone, okay, so today's video is a really good one. But before we get on with that, this is a public service announcement. Something went very wrong in the filming of this video, and I wanted to post it as it is to show you that mistakes happen, especially when you film in 4K. Because in real life, in these lights, everything looked just dandy. But with 4K, when things go wrong, they can go wrong spectacularly, which is why makeup artists get stressed with 4K. And one of the reasons why filming it, because it's more realistic, but also any mistake stands out like a sore thumb. And what happened was I was doing this video, and you'll see the whole video now, and all the information is exactly the same. But as I was setting the concealer, I used a powder, and I normally use a no color powder. And this time I used a translucent powder that had a tiny amount of color in it. And that color literally grabbed onto the skin and shone through on 4K. In real life, it just was like nothing on the skin. It was just like a normal powder. But with the 4K camera, it looked like suddenly there was all this color here and then nothing else. It looks really, really odd. But I wanted to post it anyway to show that mistakes happen. And also because I didn't want to correct it in terms of having to use lighting changes or having to use that awful CGI filter, when I could just say, look, this video is fine. It's because I've got nothing on my face at the moment. But the video is absolutely fine. The information is absolutely fine, except one thing. I used a slightly tinted powder that I absolutely shouldn't have, that looked great in the mirror, but in real life, well, looked great in the mirror in real life, but with a 4K camera, looked wrong. And you will see it now. So bear in mind, information is great, but you'll see exactly, because you can see just before I start to press the powder in, it just changes color really, really rapidly. So it's quite cool to watch. But everything else stays the same. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Here comes the tutorial. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, okay, so today I'm going to be talking you through why you shouldn't apply foundation under or around the eye area. Now, if you remember the last video I did with the model Liv, she's so young that you can pretty much do anything on that skin and it's going to look amazing because the skin is very young, it's very taut, it's very plump. As we get older, our skins sadly do not respond that way. And the more product we have on the skin, the more texture shows and the more chance there is of things not looking as beautiful and as smooth. And particularly under the eye area, it can get so bogged down so quickly. By avoiding the eye area entirely, you will only then have one layer of texture on the skin. Whereas if you apply foundation, I'm going to show you now, but if you apply foundation, that's one layer, then concealer, that's 2 layers, powder makes 3 layers. So you can see that the more layers we have, the more texture we're going to build. So I'm going to start with just a bit of a foundation, and I'm going to just kind of bounce this around my face. And I'm going to avoid the area where I want to apply concealer. And I'm filming this in 4K. And I'm going to upload it in 4K. So that's really true to life. So let's just get some product on my skin. So depending on how you want to do your concealer. Now for me personally, I prefer light to be in this area of the face as opposed to it being all under, but it's entirely up to you. So I've left this area here completely free of product because that's where I want to apply concealer. So I'm going to start in the kind of inner corner, and I'm just going to bring it slightly down and slightly out in this area. Now remember, if you're covering a bigger area or you want to go all the way down, then you wouldn't apply your foundation past this line. That makes sense. Of course it does. Of course it does. So I'm going to go into the inner corner, I'm going to work it down, and I'm going to work it out. And that's the areas. So now all I know is that I've got coverage here, one layer of texture, and now I've got coverage here. And this is going to make such a big difference to how your concealer looks, particularly for you, people that are older than 12. So now I'm going to use the Beauty Blender and I'm just going to press this in. And again, using moisturizer over primer, particularly for this area, is really important because it makes your when you powder, it grabs less harshly. Powder tends to grab quite hard on primer and it doesn't on moisturizer. And you can see that I'm really pressing this into the skin because I don't want there to be a layer on the skin. I want there to be brightness in this inner corner without there being this hard layer. And you need to set your foundation, your concealer, immediately after you've concealed. So what you want to do, make sure everything is blended, and then get your powder and immediately set the under eye area while there's no creasing. Very important. And now I've just added a tiny bit of blusher just because when it's just foundation and concealer, if you ever want to look sick, then just wear foundation and concealer, that's all. But so I've just added a bit of blush and that's it. And I know it's really simplistic and it would be much better if I had a more scientific explanation or something more exciting that you've never heard of. But this is really the key. For those of you who are struggling with your under eye area, looking really old, really dry, really wrinkled, moisturize heavily under that area. Absorb any excess with a tissue. Then do not apply foundation anywhere you're going to use under eye concealer. So you're not building texture. Then set with powder immediately and spritz your face with a bit of setting spray, and that is how to get a much kinder under eye area. There you go. So I've got some more videos coming up next week. Got a masterclass coming up which you are going to absolutely love. Completely free, not done by me, done by somebody amazing. So you're going to love that. Don't forget to rate with a thumbs up and share if you would, and do anything you want. Thanks so much, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.